In this video, I'm gonna be walking you guys through how to do a slick back mullet, keeping it super clean at the back. My guy here hasn't had a cut in a long ass time, so it's gonna be a huge transformation. How long has it been?
Maybe close to half a year.
This haircut is super trendy in 2026, and with this hair texture that my client has, it is very difficult to cut. So I'll show you, regardless of the hair texture, how to create a flawless texture, as well as keeping it nice and flowed into the mullet. Let's get into it. The first step, I'm going to section it from his recession point at the top, going all the way back. And then once I connect that to the crown, I'm going to do a horizontal section, right? That's like a horseshoe section. What that means like, if you look at a horseshoe, it looks like kind of like a bell curve. So we're replicating that, separating the sides to the top, coming with my clips, boom, and then taking that right there. Bang. That's going to be my section. Now I'm going to create shape now by coming over clip over comb and then taking that right there. I'm going to angle my clipper out like this, so then it could create that shape coming on. And then now, because this is a lot of bulk right here, I'm just going to connect that with this back here. And then as I'm getting towards the back, I'm just going to come out a little bit, right? Just going to take some of that bulk. So then when I fade this in, it can slowly connect to the back easier. Boom. Now coming next step, second step, coming with my clipper closed and then going a very low line below. And then now coming with the one guard, slap that on and then go open. And I'm going to just go above that line. And then now with this burst fade, you set in the guide line with the tape, like a taper, but then you do the fading in the 1.5 line like a burst fade, right? So now with the two guard, slap that on, open, and then taking off that line by softening it first. I always start the clipper with it open first. Then now when I come in and I close it like this, it's gonna be a lot easier for me to take off. The traditional way, you would do the fade first, then line it up. But how I do it is I line it up first, then go in with my fading, because what this does is that it allows me to see a lot better and makes the lineup way crispier whilst making the fade super blurry, right? Because I am accounting for the hair on what it reacts like. So for example, when I line it up, it allows me to see how the canvas of the head actually is like. So I line up everything before I do come into the fading with this tape. Now, when I come in with the half blade open, right, I'm able to preserve this line right here and make that dark. You see how I can just like make it as dark as I want it, and then without using enhancements. As a barber, you have to be able to rely on your skills to make the traits that you want pop off more, because you can't always rely on enhancements, right? If you're a more quality barber, if you're able to make things pop and shine naturally. I'm gonna come in close now, and so far I'm loving this clipper because I can really hear everything. I can hear all the grains coming off, whereas most clippers, they're going to just be very loud and I don't hear anything. When I have a clipper that can hear, it enables me to detail a whole lot better because I'm intricately taking off what I want, and there's a better feedback system towards what is being cut off. Boom. Now the fading part is done. I'm gonna come in with the detailing part. So I see some darkness here that can be taken. With the half guard, slap that on halfway and taking that right there. Because I don't need the back and I'm gonna line it up anyways, I'm gonna come in and do clip over comb, really clearing that bulk that I don't need. Come in and clearing this out. I'm gonna be lining this up in a U-type shape now. I'm gonna start off by coming at the start of where that lineup starts. And I always go at the end and I go like a horizontal, because when I create 2 points, I'm able to really visually see how those would connect. Right? I'm slowly just chipping it away, and now I can connect those two together, forming a really nice shape at the back. Bang. Now that my canvas is done, I'm going to connect that canvas to the scissor work now. Because I already have that base, I'm gonna first step of the scissor work, I'm gonna start off in the middle. I'm gonna comb everything to the right, so then now everything for the back can connect. See all this overhang? Where we don't want that overhang. So I'm going to comb out. I'm gonna comb out all the way out, and then I'm gonna see where that guide is. See back there, that's the guide. I'm gonna use that as my guide now, and then do point cutting, because I do want a little bit of overhang. So then when I do style it, it creates like a little bit of a texture and has length for me to play with when styling it, going into like a messy back. Boom. Now, if I comb that down, you'll see that it connects now, right? The back connects into that right there. Right, gonna do the same thing for this side. Comb everything to connect the sides into the back with that burst fade. I'm going to just comb everything from the back, connect it to the canvas. See where my guide is right there? Boom, right? Gonna do point cutting because I do want a little bit of overhang, right? Now, continue that all the way down. Boom. Boom, right there. And now, as you can see, it connects whilst having a little bit of length there still, whilst not staying like too long. Now I've got the connection between the perimeter. Okay, now I'm going to do the middle. And how I want to do that, do a middle section, profile right in the middle, then grab that piece. How I determine the length of this is the length at the back that I made that guide with the lineup, right? So the lineup guide is there. Now I'm going to comb out, and where that line is right there, boom, that's the line. I'm going to now use that as my guide. Now I'm just going to make sure that that's just a straight guide, like meaning like vertically, right? Take that all the way to the top. Boom, that's my guide now. Now I'm going to do the same thing, connect everything through a horizontal section. Boom, everything should connect to that point. I've got the back done. Now you can see that the shape is really forming, right? We've got the sides, it connects into the back, very, very textured. But now we've got this super long at the top here. So what are we gonna do? My client here says that if you look at this right here, it's just touching the eyebrows, right? But it flows into the back, into that nice type. And we already created that nice burst fade. Now we got to do it at the top. Now this is a very difficult cut because his hair is super straight, and it's very hard because if like his hair naturally wants to go forward because it's super straight. So we got to cut it in a way where it's not too long, where it flops and then looks disproportionate, but it's not too short where his hair sticks up, right? So that's why Asian hair is one of the hardest to cut. But if you're able to master this, you can master anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut length at the front first. I'm just going to do a triangle, because what that does is that triangle just only shows that the cut, like I'm just cutting the front, right? I'm going to come the front, and then what I'm going to do first is measure where his hair wants to go. So, and I'm just going to go really conservative. I'm just going to cut below his eyebrows. So I'm going to comb in, let it dangle a bit, and then just cut below the eyebrows, right? Because that, I'm just trying to get rid of bulk without cutting too much off, because I want to see how the hair reacts. That's the thing about straight hair, is because you want to see how the hair reacts when it's shorter. Come in with the comb, and I'm not pulling the hair, right? Normally the traditional way, you will come in, pull the hair down and cut it, but because straight hair is very unpredictable, meaning that you could cut it and it springs up, or you could cut it and then it's totally different length. What I like to do is I come in and I will just spring it naturally and just cut it naturally where it's at. Even though it's messy, this will allow me to see where the hair will naturally actually stay after I cut it, right? So now when I do come in and cut it, I have a real length that I could actually come in and cut with now. That's going to be the length that I wanted. Now I'm pretty happy with that length. I got my length at the front. Now I'm going to connect it from the back. As you can see, my process, I always like to have an end point and a start point. So that's my end point. I got to do another start point here. So now I want to connect this top to this right here, and as well as keeping in mind this length of this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start point at the back now. I already got my point right here. So now I'm going to come in, take this, connecting that to the sides over here. So as you can see, this length all the way here, come in where my guide is right there, and then cut it. Coming now, and then now, as you can see, I have one point here and one point there. I'm going to connect it like that because I wanted to go from shorter to longer to match into that fringe at the front, right? So this is my point right here. So instead of going straight, I'm going to just angle it out a bit, and then now I'm going to connect that to the top over here. Now, when I blow it back and put into shape on how the cut will go, it's really coming together super nice now. Even if I just go like that, the length is perfect on the side. It's just very heavy because I've only done the side. There's a lot of weight. Look at this. Look at how much weight there is at the top now. So let's do that and cut the top now. Now that we got our sides, even this side looking really nice, right? Even when I just style it in, everything's connecting now, right? It's just very heavy. So let's take some weight at the top. Gonna do a profile section right in the middle. Boom, boom. And then right top like this. And then grabbing that section right there, and that's going to be my guide right here. Now, see how it's very long, but then at this front, it's like short. It's because this front part right here is my guide, right? So I'm gonna grab that, bang. So as you can see, boom, right there is gonna be my guide. I'm gonna take that, gonna continue that all the way down. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go going angled down so then it gets shorter as it gets to the back. Now I'm gonna connect everything to that profile section right there. Comb everything vertically, right, and see that? Boom, see that? I'm gonna take that now. Connecting everything to that same point that I made. Now I'm gonna blow dry it, and I like to blow dry it where I want it to go. I want it to go back, and I'm simply just like sculpting it into what I want it to be at the end, all right? Boom. Now when it's dry, one of the best things I like to do when it comes to thick hair is I like to come in and thin it out by grabbing where I think that a lot of thickness is. And then what I'll do is I'll make it sure that straight on with the blade and then go texturize it by doing that, right? It's not exactly point cutting, it's more removing weight by coming in and going like attacking it head on, like straight to straight, so then it doesn't, like this keeps the length but removes a lot of the bulk, right? Like see that the length's not changing but it's taking a lot of the bulk, so then like the hair can have more movement rather than clump all together, right? So I'll go and even it out evenly, as in like do everything has an even distribution between texture, but then I'll come in and where I feel like it's like very thick, I'll come in to that exact spot and I'll just come in and grab it, right? And that allows me also to see, right, cross-check if any hairs are uneven, right? So far I'm loving the shape, looking really, really good. I'm just coming in and, because it's very thick, right? We want it to be very manageable for our client, as well as like styling, it will turn out great. Hey, if you guys enjoying the video so far, make sure you click subscribe as it helps out the channel. Back to the video. He has a lot of baby hairs over here and it's just gonna look really funny if we keep it there. But if we take too much, it's going to like reveal too much. So we wanna have a nice medium when we're going right where his hair starts to grow, not pushing it back, but keeping it clean. Boom, right, and then go on straight for the vertical bar. Boom, right there, right. That's a nice healthy medium, making sure it's clean whilst not pushing it back. That's super important. Now we got a nice clean box. However, there's a lot of like hanging hairs over here. So what I like to do is I just put my pinky down as an anchor and then boom, create that shape, because straight hair is like sticking out. Same thing on this side. This side has less baby hairs, but we still want to match it. All right, now we're gonna come in with some styling. We're gonna use some sea salt spray. This is gonna really create that really nice like beach type look where it's super messy. Right, I'm gonna leave it on the top. This is gonna really like texturize his really, really straight hair, especially at the back. We want really nice texture. I'm gonna use a little bit of clay and then now to finish it off, right? Now with the sea salt spray, that's used as the base to really create that foundation of the look, which is like the really like, you know, textured, messy type. And then when I put in like any of the products that have like a paste or something, I use that to really start putting the look together by refining everything. So right now what I'm doing is I'm scrunching and then really just putting a picture of what I want in. So like I'll come in and apply everything first. Once my hands there's nothing in there and everything's in the cut, I'm gonna start like sculpting it into what I want it to be like. So at this front, I kind of want like a little wisp, right? And I like to just like clump together by twisting it. I'll start creating the shape. And when I'm looking at shape, I'm looking at the perimeter, right? So see how like here it's like boom, and then it sticks out, right? We want it to be a nice fully formed shape. Now see how now everything is kind of flowing together in one nice shape. That's what we want. Got the look in place. I'm gonna lock it all in with the final touch, which is the hairspray. Now right here, as the spray starts to set in, I'm going to like start creating even more texture in there, and that can like really bring out the texture of the hair. And I'm like scrunching, right? I'm really accentuating all the points that I want, especially this area here. I'm gonna go in and just like go into how I want it. Just twisting, boom, right? And you can really get some really nice details from using this right here. Same thing on this side. Want to make sure we cover the client's face. Don't want that breathing in, right? This is a very difficult cut to do, but man, we got it. Right, we are done. And that was a long cut, bro. I promise it's gonna be worth it, bro.
Damn.
Come on, bro. How's that, man?
Damn.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
The back? It's like super nice and clean now.
Yeah.
How you feel, bro?
Feel good.
Aha! Alright, check out this side. What do you rate the cut out of 10? 10 being like out of this world, 0 being you regret you joined.
10.
10?
10.
Nice. Heck yeah. Got you, bro. Awesome. That's 250?
Yeah.
Awesome, bro. My man. Appreciate you, bro. My man.